How do you make a soup rich? Add 24 carrots to it. Now that we're laughing, welcome to our cooking channel, a haven for food enthusiasts. What we have in store for you today will surely make your taste buds dance with joy. We're set whip up a storm in the culinary world with a duo of recipes that are not just palate-pleasing but also time-efficient. The promise is simple: gourmet quality meals with minimal prep time. Our first culinary adventure of the day is a mouth-watering 30-minute coconut curry noodle soup. This dish is a harmonious blend of flavors, a symphony of spicy, sweet, and savory notes. Imagine a chilly evening. You're cozied up on your couch, cradling a hot, steaming bowl of noodle soup. The noodles, soft yet firm, have soaked up the creamy, spicy, and aromatic coconut curry, creating a flavor explosion with each bite. It's comfort food at its best, a bowl of pure bliss. But we're not stopping there. There's more deliciousness to uncover. Our next culinary masterpiece is a crispy, roasted, blackened cauliflower with burrata and herbs. Yes, you heard it right. We're taking the humble cauliflower, a vegetable so often overlooked, giving it a gourmet twist, and turning it into a showstopper. Meticulously roasted till it achieves that perfect golden brown hue, and seasoned with a blend of herbs, this dish is a textural delight. The burrata adds a dash of creaminess, making it an irresistible treat. So, whether you're a seasoned home cook, a food lover looking to broaden your culinary horizons, or a beginner looking for inspiration, you've come to the right place. We strive to make cooking an enjoyable experience while pushing the boundaries of flavors and techniques. Ready to dive into a world of delicious and quick recipes? Stay tuned. Gather around, folks. It's time to get our ingredients ready for the coconut curry noodle soup. This dish we're about to prepare is not just a soup, but a story of flavors and textures that come together to form a mesmerizing culinary escapade. Its robust, hearty, and comforting character will leave you wanting for more. Let's start with our main ingredient, the coconut milk. This isn't just any milk, it's a can of full-fat coconut milk, a key ingredient that is soulfully rich and creamy. It will lend our soup a creamy, dreamy base that will make you feel like you're savoring this dish under the warm sun on a tropical island. The coconut milk not only brings a velvety texture to our soup, but also infuses it with a subtly sweet and nutty flavor that's hard to resist. Then we introduce an essential component, the vegetable broth. This isn't just any broth. It's a cauldron of flavors that is going to add depth and intensity to our soup. 4 cups of this should do the trick. The broth will ensure that our soup is teeming with wholesome goodness. Next, we journey into the world of spices. We start with 2 tablespoons of red curry paste. This paste is a fiery blend of various spices that will set your taste buds ablaze with its intense heat, while also lending a beautiful hue to our soup. A teaspoon of turmeric, with its earthy flavor and numerous health benefits, comes in next. This golden spice will not only add a warm color to our soup, but also boost health quotient. And of course, a pinch of salt to accentuate and elevate all those beautiful flavors in our soup. Moving on, let's talk about the veggies. Our first veggie is a cup of sliced mushrooms. These earthy goodies will add a nice bite and a pop of color to our soup. Next, we have a vibrant red bell pepper and a crunchy carrot, both thinly. The bell pepper will add a sweet and tangy note, while the carrot will lend a slightly sweet and earthy flavor. For the protein, we're going with tofu, an 8-ounce package of firm tofu, cubed. This will add a unique texture and some heartiness to our soup. And if tofu isn't your cup of tea, worry not. You can always substitute it with chicken or shrimp. We can't forget about the noodles. You can play around with this ingredient. Whether it's rice noodles, udon, ramen, or even spaghetti, they all have a place in our soup. About 4 ounces should be enough to give our soup that satisfying feel. Now comes the final touch, the garnish. It's more than just an adornment, it adds a fresh element to our soup. With some fresh cilantro, lime wedges, and sliced green onions, your soup will look extra appetizing, inviting, and Instagram-worthy. Let's not forget the unsung heroes of any dish, the aromatics. 2 cloves of garlic minced and a small piece of ginger grated. These little warriors will pack a punch in our soup, giving it an aromatic kick that lifts the whole dish. So let's do a quick recap. We've got coconut milk, vegetable broth, red curry paste, turmeric, salt, mushrooms, red bell pepper, carrot, tofu, noodles, cilantro, lime, green onions, garlic, and ginger. Got all your ingredients? Perfect. Moving on to the cooking process. All right, It's time to turn these ingredients into a divine soup. The first thing we need to focus is our trusty stock pot or large saucepan. Let's get that onto the stove and crank up the heat to a nice medium. We're looking for an inviting warmth that's going to conduct and distribute heat evenly throughout our process. Now, drizzle in a touch of olive oil, a cold-pressed extra virgin variety if you have it, is what we're aiming for. We're not drowning the pan, just adding enough to lightly coat the bottom. A thin, glistening film of this liquid gold is all we need. As the oil begins to warm, let it spread across the pan, every inch of the surface gradually coated with it. As the temperature rises, you'll notice the inviting aroma of the oil to waft through the air. It's a rich, earthy smell that will infuse the room with a sense of the preparing us and our taste buds for the Epicurean journey ahead. When you see the oil start to shimmer, it's a sign that we've reached the perfect cooking temperature. Now, it's time to introduce our first key ingredient, the onions. But we're not just going to dump them in, we're to scatter them across the surface of the oil. We're ensuring every piece of the finely sliced onions has its moment in the spotlight. Imagine each slice sizzling and searing as it meets the hot oil. It's a symphony of sound, a ballet of movement, and a feast of aroma that's truly music to a cook's ears. Pay close attention as the onions start to change color, becoming translucent and just slightly golden. This is the sign of perfectly sautéed onions, the base of our flavorful soup. Next comes the minced garlic and ginger, two ingredients that are like the dynamic duo of flavor. They bring a punch of pungency, a zing of zest, and a warmth to our soup. Stir them around, letting their flavors meld with the onions, creating an aromatic trio that will be the backbone of our yourselves as we're about to embark on a spice adventure. In goes the curry powder, an exotic blend of spices that's the heart and soul of our coconut curry noodle soup. Watch as the spices sizzle, as they toast and release their flavors. Their colors deepen, a rich tapestry of shades dancing in the pot. Now we're going to pour in our rich, creamy coconut milk. Just watch as it swirls into the pot, its creamy texture contrasting with the spices, creating a harmonious union of flavors. Using the back of your spoon, scrape the bottom of the pot. This process, known as deglazing, is a secret weapon in building deep, complex flavors. Once our coconut milk is bubbling away happily, it's time to introduce our vegetable broth. The broth is the backbone of our soup, providing a savory depth that complements the coconut milk and spices beautifully. Now, we let our soup simmer. This isn't just passive waiting, it's active patience, allowing the flavors to mingle, and intensify. While our soup is simmering, we'll turn our attention to the noodles. We're using delicate rice noodles here, which have an irresistible lightness and absorb flavors like nothing else. They're going to soak up a bit of our soup's flavor, becoming a key element in our dish. As our noodles cook, we're going to add our sliced bell peppers and shredded carrots to the simmering soup. These veggies aren't just for color. They'll add a delightful textural contrast, a crunch that's just perfect against the softness of the noodles. Next up in our soup is our protein. Today we're using tofu, but feel free to substitute with chicken or shrimp if you prefer. The tofu soaks up the flavors of the soup, transforming into tasty morsels that make each bite satisfying. To finish off, we're going to season our soup with a touch of salt, a squeeze of fresh lime juice for a hint of tang, and a sprinkle of chopped cilantro for a burst of herbal freshness. And there you have it, a flavorful coconut curry noodle soup ready in just 30 minutes. Are you enjoying the cooking process so far? If you're finding this journey as thrilling as us, let us know. Click that like button, think of it as your virtual thumbs up. Also, subscribe to stay in the loop with our culinary adventures. Got any feedback or ideas? Use the comment section to express yourself. Now let's move on to our next dish, shall we? Time to take out the ingredients for our second dish, the crispy roasted blackened cauliflower with burrata and herbs. The first component that we're going to talk about is the star of our show, a fresh, crisp, and firm head of cauliflower. But this isn't just any cauliflower. You want to find a cauliflower that is dense, with its florets tightly packed together. This type of cauliflower is the best for this dish as it lends a delightful crunch and acts as a sponge, soaking up all the delicious flavors we're about to introduce. The cauliflower is not just a vegetable in this dish, it's the cookbook's blank canvas. ready to transform into a culinary masterpiece with our careful guidance. You want to choose a cauliflower that's clean, with no spots or blemishes, and feels for its size. The leaves should be crisp and green, not wilted or brown. This will ensure that your cauliflower is at the peak of its freshness and will deliver the best flavor. Next up on our list is burrata cheese. If you've never tried burrata before, then you're in for an absolute treat. Burrata is a soft Italian cheese that's a bit like mozzarella's sophisticated cousin, but it's much more than that. Inside its outer shell of solid mozzarella, burrata hides a core of stracciatella and cream that has a buttery texture and a delicate flavor. When sliced open, the creamy inside spills out, creating a beautiful presentation on your plate. This cheese will imbue our roasted cauliflower with a creamy, dreamy element, perfectly harmonizing with the cauliflower's crispness. Moving on to the herbs, the ones we've chosen for this dish are a combination of fresh parsley and basil. The role of herbs in cooking is often underrated. They have the power to elevate a dish from good to extraordinary, adding depth and layers of flavor that excite the palate. The fresh parsley has a vibrant, slightly peppery flavor that will introduce an exhilarating freshness to our dish, while the basil, with its sweet, licorice-like flavor, will add a subtle aromatic touch. As for the blackening spices, we've chosen a mix of paprika, cayenne pepper, dried thyme, and dried oregano. These will lend our dish a boldness that's hard to resist. The paprika and cayenne pepper will infuse the cauliflower with a smoky, slightly fiery flavor that's truly mouth-watering. Meanwhile, the dried thyme and oregano will lend a rustic, earthy hint that complements the other flavors beautifully. Collectively, these spices will give our cauliflower a stunning blackened exterior that's as pleasing to the eye as it is to the taste buds. Additionally, we're going to need olive oil for roasting the cauliflower. This will create a seal around the cauliflower, allowing the spices to adhere better to its surface while giving it that delicious, crispy exterior we're after. Lastly, we'll be using sea salt and freshly ground black pepper to season our dish. These two simple ingredients can be transformative, enhancing the flavors of all the other ingredients and bringing the whole dish together beautifully. They are like the conductor of an orchestra, ensuring all the elements in the dish play in perfect harmony. But let's not forget the tools we need to bring this dish to life. A baking sheet for roasting the cauliflower and a mixing bowl for combining the cauliflower with the spices and the oil are essential. So, in essence, we have a fresh head of cauliflower, creamy burrata cheese, fresh herbs, blackening spices, olive oil, and some salt and pepper. Basic elements, yet when combined with our cooking techniques, they create a dish that's anything but ordinary. Got all your ingredients? Great, let's start cooking. Now, let's transform these ingredients into a mouth-watering dish. Our journey begins by preheating our trusted kitchen companion, the oven, to a cozy 400 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the ideal temperature, which will help in achieving that desirable balance between a soft and crispy texture. Preheating is an essential that can make or break a dish, as it sets the stage for the cooking process. While the oven is gradually reaching its optimal temperature, we will divert our attention to our star for day, the cauliflower. Cauliflower, this seemingly simple vegetable, hides an amazing potential that we're about to unlock. You'll want to cut it into large, robust florets. Ensure they are more or less equal in size. Uniformity is key here, as it ensures that every piece cooks evenly, achieving a collective harmony in their evolution from raw to roasted. Now it's time to reveal a secret that will elevate your cauliflower to the next level. To give your cauliflower that appealing, blackened look and a flavor that will tantalize your taste buds, we're going to immerse it in a delectable blend of olive oil interspersed with smoked paprika, a hint of ground cumin, and a pinch of salt. Be meticulous in this step, ensuring each floret is uniformly coated. This will create a delicate and enticing symphony of flavors, each complementing the other while enhancing the goodness of the cauliflower. Once your cauliflower is beautifully seasoned and the oven has reached the desired temperature, arrange the florets on a baking sheet, paying special attention to each piece enough room to breathe. This will not only allow the heat to circulate around each piece, but also help in achieving that perfect roast. Pop that in the oven for approximately 20 to 25 minutes. The ideal color you're aiming for is a deep golden brown, a telltale sign of the perfect roast. While the cauliflower on its transformative journey, it's time to shift our focus onto the burrata and herb garnish. Burrata, with its creamy texture and mild flavor, is the perfect addition to our dish, imparting a luxurious touch. This, with its velvety texture, will add a depth of flavor to our dish. You're going to want to tear it into large chunks. As for the herbs, opt for fresh ones. A mix of basil, mint, and chives is my choice. But the beauty of cooking is to experiment. So feel free to use what you have on hand. We now move on to the dressing. This will provide the much-needed acidity to cut through the richness of the burrata and the smoky flavor of the cauliflower. In a small bowl, combine extra virgin olive oil, the zest of a lemon, lemon juice, and a dash of salt and pepper. Whisk it energetically until it emulsifies into a zingy dressing that will elevate the taste of our dish. By now, your kitchen must be filled with the tantalizing aroma of the roasted cauliflower. Once it's ready, let it rest for a while. After it cools down, it's time to infuse it with lemon dressing. The warm cauliflower will imbibe all those flavors, enhancing its taste. To present our masterpiece, spread your herbed burrata at the base of the dish. This will serve as a creamy canvas for our beautiful roasted cauliflower. Arrange the cauliflower confidently on top, making it the star of the show. Drizzle any leftover dressing over the top, adding an extra flavor punch. If you're feeling extra adventurous, sprinkle some freshly ground black pepper or extra herbs for that final touch. And there you have it, a delicious, crispy roasted blackened cauliflower with burrata and herbs. This dish is a veritable party of flavors and textures. Textures. The smoky, crispy cauliflower beautifully complemented by the creamy burrata and the tangy lemon dressing. Every mouthful is a symphony of tastes. Whether you're serving it as a side dish, making it the centerpiece of your meal, this dish is sure to leave an impression. It's a testament to how a bit of creativity can transform even the simplest of ingredients into a gastronomic delight. Now it's your turn. Go ahead, give it a try, and let the flavors do a merry dance on your palate. Hope you enjoyed cooking along with us today. We've had a wonderful time preparing some truly mouth-watering dishes that have made our kitchen smell delightful. The aromatic coconut curry noodle soup was an absolute pleasure to create. The beautiful blend of spices and fresh coconut milk made the soup a flavorful and comforting dish. The stirring, the simmering, and the gentle waft of steam rising from the pot made the whole process feel like a soothing kitchen ballet. The of rice noodles gave it that satisfying, chewy texture, making it a perfect balance of taste and texture. And then we moved on to our second recipe, the delectable crispy roasted blackened cauliflower with burrata and herbs. The sizzle of the cauliflower in the oven, the crackling sound of the cheese, and the aroma of the herbs, it was all a feast for the senses. The crispy outer layer of the cauliflower contrasted wonderfully with its soft, tender inside, and creamy burrata cheese added an unmatchable creaminess to the dish. These recipes that we've shared with you today are not just tantalizing to the taste buds, but also loaded with nutritional benefits. They are high in fiber, vitamins, and minerals, and low in, and what's best, they don't compromise on flavor. Remember, the magic of cooking is in the details, the choice of ingredients, the precise measurements, the cooking time, and the presentation. If you missed any steps or need a quick refresher, you can always replay the video. We've ensured to break each stage, the preparation and cooking process, down into manageable parts to ensure that it's easy for you to follow along. It's like having a personal cooking class right in the comfort of your own kitchen. Now, to make your culinary journey even more rewarding and beneficial, we've put together a list of recommended health products. We believe these will truly elevate your cooking and overall wellness. You'll find this list in our description box below. These products range from organic spices that offer a burst of flavor and health benefits to top-quality cooking utensils that your cooking process is seamless and efficient. Remember, good food is about more than just taste. It's the foundation of genuine happiness and well-being, a journey that extends beyond the boundaries of your kitchen and touches the heart of your home, bringing joy, comfort, and connection. So as wrap up, we'd love to hear about your cooking experiences. How did it go? Did you try our recipes? Were you able to create the same mouth-watering dishes at home? Did you add your own twist? Do you have any tips or tricks to share? Any feedback is greatly appreciated. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel for more delicious recipes, and comment below with your thoughts. Happy cooking!